everyone, and welcome to yet another video. Today we have a special video. As you can see from the title, this is my 5th anniversary of being on YouTube. 5 years of doing fragrance reviews. Man, it is to me, a joyous occasion. It marks a pretty big milestone as far as, longevity. It's just a pretty big milestone for me, so I'm happy for that. And also, as you can see from the title, this is also a giveaway. If you're purely interested in the giveaway, feel free to jump to the end of the video and find out the information from there. But it does have a little bit of a bearing on what the actual video content is. So just keep that in mind. I will warn you beforehand that this video may run a little bit long just because of the fact that I kind of want to use this time to reflect and to talk to you guys a little bit so you can kind of see where I'm at and my thoughts kind of on the whole reviewing thing, which brings me to a comment and a quote, and that's simply, "I can finally see the end in sight." Now that will become a little bit more clear as we go ahead and we talk through this, and it will become a little bit more clear. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, I've got my celebratory whiskey. I'm a whiskey drinker. I love whiskey. I started with rum, but here in the States, you really can't get that good rum or, good enough rum. So I switched to whiskey. I haven't turned back ever since. This one in particular is called 77 whiskey. It's from the Brooklyn Distillery. It's a wheat-based whiskey. It's absolutely fantastic. I was actually trying to kill this bottle off because I have yet another bottle of the same thing on the shelf. So I don't like having 2 bottles of the same whiskey, but I actually started collecting whiskeys as well. Side note, completely off of the side, but I like my whiskey straight. Sometimes I'll have it with a little bit of spring water, and I'll throw whiskey stones in it, cold whiskey stones, to kind of cool it down and bring the temperature down as well. But fantastic. All right, and the other thing is my scent of the day. My scent of the day today is Pure Tonka. Pure Tonka. I just reviewed this. If you have not seen it, check out the channel and you'll get my thoughts on it. A little bit of stain here. But either way, all right. So getting started. All right. I mean, just going back, I started doing videos simply because I wanted to get better at public speaking. And I feel that I've accomplished that goal. I'm a much more confident speaker in my job, in my professional career. I had to be a better speaker just because I constantly have to be in front of people talking, pushing forward ideas, getting people to buy into ideas, and it's something that I have to do on my daily basis. So I'm very thankful, and I really have to attribute it to the fact that I was doing videos and not editing anything, basically just going off of it. And looking back, I can see there's a big difference, so I feel that I've accomplished that goal. The other goal that I set out for was to really learn more about fragrances and to catalog a ton of fragrances in the way of doing it. And I met that goal as well too. Obviously it's still going on. There are thousands of fragrances to review, but I'm doing a pretty good clip. I mean, I've been basically releasing a video every 2 days or so, and I've crammed in a lot of reviews of a lot of fragrances in that time frame. So it's been absolutely fantastic. Why I still do it, I mean, over the years I've kind of changed in how things have done. I do it for, I guess you could say, like 2 or 3 main reasons. One, the first and foremost reason, is I love it. I love fragrances. I love finding that new fragrance that absolutely clicks with me. For the longest time, I always thought that I hated those freshy scents, those fresh scents, when really I just hadn't come across any good ones that I liked. Then I came across Edition Blanche from Chanel, and it was by YouTube. Basically, YouTube reviewers are the ones who put me onto it. I came across Bergamot 22 and absolutely fell in love with that. So much so that I dropped, I think it was like 300 or so, whatever they're charging for Bergamot 22, without such a hesitation. I was like, I have to have this scent. And I love that feeling that you get when you find that scent and when you find that magical scent that comes from it. So that's the first and foremost reason why I still review. The second reason why I still review is I'm being completely honest here, money. I get paid from YouTube, more specifically from Google AdSense. I put those ads on the video, and you sometimes have to click through it in order to get to the said video. But that's how I get paid, basically. And I put that on my videos a while ago, and essentially, except for like a small portion that went to giveaways, I use that to just throw at my student loan. And that's it. So it just kind of sits there, right? And that was incredibly helpful, especially when I was a little bit younger in my career and I didn't have as much money to throw around. In fact, it's really not that much. I mean, I'll tell you guys the amount. It's anywhere between $250 and $700 a month, right? And it may sound like a lot, but the problem is there's a lot of work that actually goes into getting and sustaining that, especially as a fragrance reviewer. If you're like a gamer or something else on YouTube that garners far more hits and far more views and far more interest, you're going to get paid much more than that. And so it's not to say that I'm in it for the money. It's definitely not in it for the money, but it certainly is helping keep me here, knowing that I have and it's a steady income coming in from it. If not for that, I would probably not release anywhere near that many videos. I would probably release a video every 2 weeks, maybe a video every month. I would feel absolutely no obligation to get in front of a camera and to do it. I would review at my own pace, and I would write it down. I actually have it in my head. I have this database, basically, of all my notes and all my personal ratings that I don't actually tell you guys what it is, but I take that and I was like, all right, I thought this. I'm going to go ahead and explain it like this. And it's a pretty interesting thing. I love it. I'm a techie. That's what I do. And so it just felt natural to me to do something like that. But in any case, I got into an argument with someone about the substance of that. Like I said, all that takes time. You've got to research the fragrance. You've got to wear the fragrance, obviously, 7 times. You guys know me. I get opinions of people, so I go out, get the opinions of people. I clearly have to buy it. So what you net out, you're really better off working at a fast food restaurant for how much I put in, how much time that I put in relatively to how much money I'm actually getting in. So let's not go crazy. It's not something that's going to tip the scales. And the other important point about money is I never accept any payment from fragrance companies. I've gotten actually 2 or 3 offers now from fragrance companies to come on and do reviews for them, more specifically, and get paid for it. But I specifically declined that because I like to remain neutral. This isn't something that I want to turn into a job. And once I think you go over that hump, I think, it starts to get a little non-hobby-ish, right? And I've been very hawkish about keeping my hobby in the hobbies realm and not turning it into a full-fledged business. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on why I am still here and why I'm still staying. And the other final third thing, sorry, that doesn't count as part of why I'm still here. I'm starting to ramble. But anyways, so that brings me to changes in my life, right? I have made substantial changes to my videos, and you can see it as you go through time to kind of accommodate changes in my life. You guys have been with me through thick and thin, basically. I mean, you guys have been with me through breakups. You guys have been with different women. I think over the period of 5 years that I've been on YouTube, how many? Probably I've dated about 7 girls in that time, and it's been off and on. Some were great, some were not so great. And it's funny, through a bad breakup, you can kind of see my personality change in one of the, like 2 or 3 of the videos after that, and then kind of switched back. But either way, I met my wife in the time that I've been doing videos, and I married her just recently, and it's a realization that I've come to realize, which brings me back to my original statement: I can finally see the end in sight. I'm always analytical of what I'm doing and how much time it's taking. I never like to put any unrealistic expectations on myself in terms of what I can produce and what I can put out. And one thing that I've really come to notice is that, reviews, like I said, they take time. And, less and less of my time is freed up. A lot of my time obviously goes to my wife. A lot of my time goes to work now. I'm advancing pretty well in my personal career. In my personal career, I'm going up and up and up. Obviously, I'm getting paid more and more and more for it. But at the flip side, my time is also going more and more and more. And that consequently means that, the money that I'm getting from YouTube is feeling less and less appealing. I mean, it's just going down, 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 especially with how much time it's actually taking up. So that's why I brought up, the payment factor as well, too. It's not helping, really, at this point. Same thing with my wife. My wife always takes precedence. My family always takes precedence, and we plan on having a family, which means kids are coming. And when kids are coming, I'm almost positive that I'm not going to be able to keep up the rate that I'm doing of videos. There are going to be days where, there's going to be probably weeks that I won't be able to sleep, and hence I won't be able to do any videos or anything like that. And I know myself, I don't like to do things half-assed. So it's a very real possibility that I could decide to call it quits, right? It's just a circumstance of the actual time. I'll see if I can figure out a way, as time goes on, and I don't want to commit and say that I'm quitting, because I'm not quitting. Let's get that out of the air. I am not quitting. But what I'm saying is I can see an exit now. I can see myself quitting if it ever came to that point where it's, it's conflicting with my everyday life, right? So yeah, I mean, I've learned a great deal of things, with doing videos. It's been a hoot. It's been a blast. I love the fragrance community. I think the fragrance community has such a wide range of personalities that it's a great show. It's a great thing to keep in mind of. I've always steered clear of any sort of drama. It's actually gotten me into trouble just because I've refused to take sides. I don't care. I will not fight somebody over fragrance. It's my hobby. I'm not going to fight somebody over fragrance. It sounds so ridiculous when you say it out loud, and it just reaffirms my action. I will not quarrel over fragrance. It's that simple. And by quarrel, I mean, get serious or anything like that over it. I fight with like Frank and Igor, and it's not real fighting, obviously. We constantly disagree about what fragrances are right. We have polar opposite likes and dislikes in terms of fragrances. So that kind of fighting is good for fragrances, and I highly encourage that. But the other type where people are getting truly serious is not the type that I'm going to endorse or anything like that. But the fragrance community itself, I feel that there's a lot of new talent that's come up, and a lot of new faces that are coming up that really help advance the game. There's a lot of old faces still in the game too, but there's a lot of new faces coming up. I personally am the type who I view almost everyone's videos at least once, over the course of like a month or something like that. So I enjoy fragrance videos. I constantly tell people, go out, branch out, check out other reviewers, see which style more mends with yours. So at the end of the day, I feel that I've done a decent job of doing fragrance reviews. I love what I do. I don't have the flashiest style. I know that there are people, you can toss a rock into the fragrance community and find reviewers with much better quality videos than I have. You can find, much more info in other videos as well too. You can find videos that, do a much better job of getting other people's opinion too. So, so it's all different flavors, all different, faces. Find out what you like, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I like this ride so far. So far, so good. I am looking forward to the new year. I'm going to start implementing a couple of changes, if you will, and it's going to be a good time overall. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. And so finally, the giveaway. Let's talk about the giveaway. The giveaway for the 5th anniversary, I wanted to make something a little bit, I don't want to make people jump through hoops or anything like that. So what I simply want you to do in order to enter yourself in the giveaway, and actually before I should actually even mention that, I should tell you what I'm giving away. I'm giving away whole fragrance bottles, basically. Some are used, some are not so used. I had a ton of fragrances that I was trying to sell at one point, and I had 2 overseas offers for buyers, and Fortunately, I declined it just because I don't like shipping overseas, especially that many fragrances, because I can't guarantee that they'll get it, and I will feel really bad if for some reason they don't get it, because I'm not gonna want to give the money back. Basically, I mean, you know, so because I can't guarantee the delivery to them, I wasn't gonna sell it, and so then I just sat back and said, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and give these fragrances away. Their fragrances, all of them I've reviewed before at one point or another. It's not my stash, my collection. I want to reiterate that so people don't think that I'm giving away my fragrances and like calling it quits or anything like that. Nothing like that. These are fragrances, again, that I've reviewed that I don't want to keep in some shape or form. All right. So how you enter yourself in the giveaway, this is important. You simply comment down below and it'll enter you in the giveaway. More specifically, what I want you to comment on is, you know, what do you think of my channel? What do you think of these past 5 years? Give me your honest opinion. That's, you know, what I crave, honesty. I've got a pretty thick skin, and, you know, even if it's something harsh, as long as it's not just a flat-out flame, then I'm going to be perfectly fine with it, you know? So that's what it is. So if you want to be in the giveaway, let me know what your thoughts are on my channel for my 5th anniversary. The past 5 years, any stories you have, whatever the case may be, I'd like to hear it. All right? So that's pretty much it, guys. A toast, 5 years. We'll see if I can keep this going and keep pulling out fragrance reviews and keep it enjoyable. All right, guys? I want you to let me take a last swig. Thank you, guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day. Happy anniversary.